won Texas in a record, right? But, you know, the papers are so corrupt, the media is so corrupt that they actually build up a case like a tough race. We won that massively. We won many of them massively. Totally. I say we won every swing state by a lot. And you are one of the people that cover it. You understand exactly what I'm talking about. It was corrupt. But when you have policies like that, like you're against the Second Amendment, there's so many different things. I don't believe they're a 50-50 party. I think they cheat on elections. That's what I think. And the way you beat it also, in addition.
Well, by the way, of course you have to think that because you're a lifelong fuck up. I mean, that's what he is. He's a fuck up. And by the way, can I show you something that not only, first of all, how many times we've heard this dickhead talk about how Putin's at the top of his game, man? Putin is at the top of his game. And Biden, even in prime time, remember that bullshit when he means in his prime? Let's see. Putin, let's see. I got to put this over here. Let's see. Putin, Intel. All right. So this guy, hold on. I'll hide out of the way. This guy wants you to think that Biden is missing a step and is lost, doesn't know what he's doing, whatever. And he's up against this dude who is at the top of his game. Except, this is the, first of all, anybody looking at the fucking battle plan knows this is garbage. And that Putin's, this is a mask-off moment for what a fuck-up ultimately Putin is. And he's a small-time thug who basically slipped by on the grace of the rest of the world, giving him the benefit of the doubt that he's like going to be a Yeltsin or something like that. And the fact that he's not afraid to murder individuals every so often on a one-to-one. He's a gangster. He's a fucking mid-level gangster who ended up being the Godfather because he's the one left alive. Doesn't mean he knows what the fuck he's doing. And part of his success has been the rest of the world going, okay, all right, well, we don't want to fuck with the Russian people. We don't have a beef with them per se, so we won't call you on your worst shit when you do it. We'll tiptoe around it because it's not the Russians' fault and it's just part of the deal, right? Meanwhile, this guy, according to Trump, this dude is top of his fucking game. All right, who else? Who else is this guy like, oh, he's dealing with people. He's dealing with these kind of politicians who are, you know, they don't miss a step. They're snappy. They get right to the point. They're sharp as a tack. And Biden can't deal with these guys. Like, he's going to deal with Kim Jong-un. Right? Yeah, I mean, Biden's dealing with these, like, they didn't do this kind of shit when I was in charge. This guy's at the top of his game. How is Biden even going to compete? Look at this guy. He's funny. He likes it. Trump got along with him. I got along with this guy. We fell in love. He wrote me letters. We hung out. This guy was fucking cheap. And Biden does, look at this. Look how macho this is. And oh shit, right. This is all fake. Douchebag. But how many times has Trump said this? Biden doesn't, he can't deal with these guys because these guys are firing on all cylinders. I knew these guys. They're all great. They're all top of the game. Okay, how about this? Let's see. Whoops. Ping. Let's see. Well, hold on. I need something like this. Now, who else? Oh man, this dude. Who else? Think. Say, somebody got a bear stuck in a hole. This guy though. I mean, sure, Putin turned out to be completely insane, full of shit, and deluded. Kim Jong-un, basically complete bullshit. But this dude, 1.5 billion people with an iron fist. This guy controls every. Oh. The biggest guys in the world, they're all my friends, and they're smarter than anybody you've ever met, and the greatest people you've ever known are my best friends. Don't you know? Do boy, what's it gonna do to do? She seeks to quell internal rebellion. Everything's going fine. It couldn't get any better. Faction of former top Chinese cop threatening Xi at the Asian Sentinel. A faction linked to a disgraced former senior Chinese official is posing such a serious threat to Chinese President Xi Jinping that China's Ministry of Public Security has formed a team to crush it. He's the smartest guy in the world, and he's a friend of mine. I know him well. Right. For fuck's sake. You starting to get the picture? If Trump likes you, if Trump goes, that guy's smart. That guy's, he's fucking top of his game. Tip top, super smart. You know what that means? That means if he says that to you, about you, that means you're a fuck up. Because it takes one to fucking know one. He's a fuck up. He's a fuck up. She's a fuck up. Putin's a fuck up. Un's a fuck up. Wouldn't you like to be a fuck up too? Be a fuck up just like this fuck up. But they, yeah, right. But they did have cake. It's a good point. What the hell? Get out of here with this nonsense. Stop it.
What they're doing is you have to swamp them because there comes a point when they can't cheat that much.
Yeah.
I believe that happened in Florida.
Yes. So the solution in Florida is swamp. I see. Well, hey, you know, they got plenty, and with the way the climate's headed, they'll have plenty more. That's right. It'll be the slosh me state. Because remember, because of climate change, Florida's going to be underwater. But it's not going to be like underwater like Atlantis, where you go like, hey, you want to go scuba dive and look at old Miami? No, it's going to be under about this much water. Every fucking where. Mosquitoes, crocodiles, or alligators rather, and it's just going to be everywhere you go. Great. This is going to be great.
That's why I did so
be the
well.
mosquitoes.
One final question.
Yeah, it's not. That's why he did so well. It's not because Republicans have controlled the state and used it to manipulate it for years, and that's why he did so well. Oh, I know another reason why he did so well. Let's see, Florida villages. I have another idea why he might have done well in Florida. I think it might have something to do with this. Fourth resident of the Villages arrested for voter fraud. Guess who they all voted for? That's right. All of them. What are the fucking odds? What are the fucking odds? You think 1 out of 4 would have voted for Biden? 25%, 75%, even if it's tipped one way. Nope. All of them voted twice for Donald Trump. 8 bullshit votes. All right, there you go. I can't imagine that's why I did so well. Because they know the Democrats know how to cheat. Good Lord. By the way, the dude has totally missed his calling as the, cast as the new Maytag repairman. I'm just saying.
As the protection of midterm elections 2024 and the RNC's involvement, what more can they?
Midterm elections 2024. Forget it. She's on a roll.
Doing to fortify the elections?
Well, the vote counter in his last election was much more important than the candidate. And the vote counters were, there was great dishonesty. Look, it's been proven. Look at Wisconsin, what's going on. I think they may decertify their election. Yeah. Where they had almost 100% of people in nursing homes voted. But if you go over the last 30, 40 years, it was
Yeah, usually Republicans make sure those folks can't vote. It's weird. Almost 100%.
a tiny little percentage, you know. And then people.
No. Like 80%. Old people always vote at a higher level.
Come forward. My mother didn't vote. My mother's in a coma.
Right.
Oh, that, by the way, there's a MAGA woman who, like, her mother clearly is a Biden voter. Her mother's like, I like Joe Biden. He's been around for a long time. She voted for Obama. She liked Joe Biden. One of the reasons why she gave Obama a shot, this woman's mother, was because Biden was on the ticket. She's like, he's sensible. He's not crazy left. He's center, blah, blah, blah. And so that was the idea. So it's no surprise she fucking, when he ran for president, she's like, I like that guy. P.S. The other dude who you like, dear, is a fucking monster. This woman just had an argument. It's like interpersonal redneck family bullshit. And she's like, my mother is obviously senile. She does not understand that there is a cabal of baby-eating pedophiles that are running a human milkshake factory to feed Hillary Clinton and lizard people. Like, okay. My mother is not in any state where she can, in the mental space to vote at all. They are trying to get her. Look, I was speaking to JFK Jr. in a streetlight the other day.
Father didn't vote. People died and they voted. Look.
Well, it's the other way around. Some people voted and then they died. That happens all the time. I'm just saying, every election, I'm sorry, folks. Some of you are going to vote and then you're not going to make it to election day. You just aren't. Or you're going to, on the way home from the booth. It just happens. It's going to happen to some people. Statistically speaking, it's going to be in there. Now, they're not going to remove your vote because you voted when you were alive. And in theory, if your vote is counted, it stays counted. You know why? Because most people, not this asshole and his family, but most of us vote with the future in mind. Most of us vote under the kind of premise that I hope this country stays the kind of place where my children are free to vote and my grandchildren can grow up in a way where there's a potential for them to live, right? So you vote not just for like, I'm going to get me some tax cut. You also vote for the continuation of democracy and those kind of things. So your vote has meaning beyond the fact that you're like, God damn it, I was going to use that tax break to buy a house.
We have a very corrupt, I never thought I'd be saying it. But we have, and I can say it very nicely because anybody, they don't ever want me to, they never take me on that. They just go with the big lie. They keep saying the big lie, the big lie. But they never want to sort of, hey, sit down and let's talk. We'll go state by state.
Yeah, fact by fact.
Remember,
I'll do it. Ring me up, fucko. Let's go state by state. No notes. I'm good. I mean, I don't. He'd never do it, but I'd be glad to. Somebody needs to find me the, his campaign publicity thing. I'll do it. Fuck yeah, I'll do it.
for to debate anybody
Yep.
on the election. I didn't have one person.
No one took
take
you
me
up, huh?
up. I would get big.
I'll do it. I bet he was like, I didn't have one person of the 5 people like Pelosi or Biden or somebody like that who are busy actually doing a job they still have.
Big ratings.
Yeah.
I offered to debate any Democrat politician on the election of 2020.
Do they have to be if I run for office, does that count? Do I qualify?
Because they can't defend it. If you look at Arizona, all you have to do is look at the findings. And don't forget, I so-called lost by a whisker, just a little bit. And then they have.
You actually lost by more. Yeah. All the fraud is our Trump votes. All of it. Prove me wrong. He actually lost by a lot more. Every time they look, they find more Biden votes. They find more fake Trump votes. Or double Trump votes. So if past is prologue at all, and Occam's razor applies in all of these areas, the Republican-run states, especially where he alleges voter fraud, where if they do find any voter fraud, it will be to benefit Donald John Trump. And when it is looked at, they will throw out more votes of his. It happens every time they look. And it will happen again and again.
10,000 votes here, 30,000 votes here, all different ways, not just.
Right. You bought votes everywhere. You attempted fraud from the president's office while you were running the country, and you got your ass handed to you because you couldn't vote enough to cover the loss. Somebody told you didn't need to pay for it. That's the. Oh, sorry. 1 second. I have to put this up for 1 second. Somebody in his circle, it's true. Somebody in his circle told him all he needed was 2 million more votes, and so he took money whatever money he hadn't spent on himself and his own properties. Yes, it's true. Spent that money on buying votes, and he bought votes everywhere in every state. And he was so pissed about the popular vote, they decided to do it in states they had control of. So he strong-armed Republicans in those states to give him some votes. Operatives, state, Senate state senators in a lot of these states to arrange for him to get fake votes added. Yes, it's true. And then ultimately, it wasn't enough.
Different findings.
So I offered to do a debate, public debate. Nobody took me on. So it's one of those things. They know.
Also, when the fuck did he say this? Did he release some sort of statement? I mean, he's mentioned it. He's speaking about it in past tense right now. Does anybody remember him offering a big pay-per-view? Did we talk about this back in the day? It was fucking boring. Who cares?
Crooked. We have very crooked elections. We don't have a free press. We really don't have free speech anymore. It's very bad, very dangerous. These elections are going to be absolutely critical for this country.
John, I think we have an idea for a week of shows. Tackle a different state every night.
Yeah, let's do it.
Be very easy.
Let's see if we can get someone to come and debate you. We'll do it.
So easy.
Yeah, it is.
That would be.
Whoops, hold on. Hi, any more thoughts about dessert or I know you definitely want some. With the two of you, obviously you're paying for it, so he will be having dessert. Yeah. Also, I have to make a correction. The chef gave me a new list. There's only, I'm sorry, we're very limited on ice cream tonight. So only one person can get 2 scoops. Right. Also, we have a special that we just added is that the waiter will gladly debate you on any topic you'd like to bring up, and mop the floor with you at no charge. Isn't that nice? Isn't that good? That's good stuff. What do you think?
That would be the easiest of all.
Hold on.
It would.
Whoops. Shit. They don't hold the shot for very long, do they? Look how small I am. Whee! There we go. If it's easy, I'll just do it then.
Thank you so much for your time. I know how busy you are.
Yeah, he's not busy. I'm here every day. He's not. He's always here. He wanders around this room. There's unless there's an interview going on, there is literally no furniture in here. And sometimes I'll hear his shoes, and I can always tell because the lifts make a special clacking sound. And the parquet flooring in here looks expensive, but it's very cheap. And we managed to salvage the runner line, or if you'll notice around the side. But the essential parquet, I mean, he gets it turned over every couple of years. He's got a friend. Anyways, it's not important. It's all Russian wood. It curls up. It's very funny. Never dance in here because you'll eat shit. But he
Sure to always be with you.
has,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right,
Oh,
folks, we're here in Mar-a-Lago with President Trump, America's 45th president.
Get me out of here. Ah! All right, sorry.